Hello everyone! In this tutorial, I'll discuss how to create, add, and manage your customers in Ambel. Let's start. When you click on Customers, you'll see your full customer list. You can rename customer to suit your business. For a healthcare business, it might be patients. For a caregiving business, it might be clients. Since this is a hospital account, we'll change it to patients. To do that, go to Settings, then Business Info, and find the option. How do you refer to your customers? We'll set it to patients and save. When you reload the page, you'll see it's now changed to patients. Now let's open Patients. Here you'll see your existing patients and a few ways to add more. You can create a customer, invite a customer, or import an existing customer list. Let's look at each method. The first way is to invite. Click Invite New, enter the customer's name, for example, Patient 5, select a branch and add customer email. After you send, customer will receive the invitation in email. Their status will show as invited. When they accept invitation, the status will show as joined. The second way is automatic. Whenever someone books an appointment, makes a purchase, generate an invoice, a medical report, or similar records, they're immediately added here as a customer. The third way is from the scheduling screen. While creating an appointment, click Dedicated Appointment and choose a service. Your existing customers appear here, and you can also create a new one. For example, let's add Patient 7. Since this customer doesn't exist yet, click Add to create them. You can then fill in their phone number, email, and home address, and save. Once you create the appointment, Patient 7 is created. Now let's look at importing. Your import file needs 3 required fields: name, email address, and branch. Without these 3, you can't import your customers. The branch value must exactly match one of your existing branch names. You can also include other details as needed. Let's import the file. Click Import and upload your file. Once it finishes uploading, click Next to map the fields. Here, you match the columns from your spreadsheet to the matching fields in Ambel. I'll map name to name, email to email address, and branch to branch. I'll also map the phone number, and if you have a joining date or other information, you can map those too. I'll match total bookings and due balance as well, since those are important. You can leave any remaining fields unmapped or match them if you like. When you're ready, click Run. It takes a moment depending on how much data you have, and then everything is imported. You'll see your full list appear. If customers already exist, it's skipped. Now let's see how to manage and view a customer's details. Let's search for Patient 1. When you open their profile, you'll see several sections. At the top is their patient number and status, along with their personal information, which you can update at any time. Next is the level. By default, no level is set, but you can assign one here. Let's mark this customer as VVIP and choose a color for it, such as dark red. Once you save, the level updates so you can easily set each customer's category and importance. In the Appointments tab, you'll see their past appointments along with any upcoming ones. In the Transactions tab, you'll see their previous payments as well as any pending or processing ones. In the Notes section, you can add important notes to help you understand a patient before you see them. Click New, enter the details, and you can label it here as well. Once saved, the note appears here, and if you pin it, it stays at the top of the list. Now, let's look at eForms. eForms let you collect information from a customer. You can send a form for them to fill out or create one instantly. To send one, click Send and select the eForm template you want. You create these templates under Settings in the eForms section. Let's send an intake form. To send a form, select which eForm you want and send it. The customer receives it by email, and if they have a user account, they'll also see it on their dashboard where they can fill it out. Once they submit it, it appears here automatically. You can also create an eForm instantly. For example, if the customer is with you and giving their details in person, you can fill out the intake form on their behalf. Click Create, select the template, and fill in the required information. You'll see exactly which fields are required along with any questionnaires. You can also capture the customer's signature. Just click to sign, and once that's done, the intake form is created and appears in their profile. Now let's look at attributes. An attribute is a special kind of intake form. Think of it as a record of a customer's characteristics that helps you serve them better. In some cases, these details are essential. For example, a caregiver may need to know how a patient behaves before providing care. So when a customer fills out an e-form about their characteristics, you can save it as an attribute. To do this, click Add New and select an existing e-form. The information is already there, and you'll see the attribute showing the details that were filled in. You can also create one manually. If the customer is with you, click Create to select the template, fill in the details, and create the attribute form. Either way, the attribute is added here. So again, an attribute is a specialized intake form where you store specific information about a customer or their characteristics. You can send many intake forms to a customer, but an attribute is set aside as a special one. Now let's look at two more features, EMR and ADL. To enable them, go to Settings, then Integration. There you'll find electronic medical records. Once you install it, it appears in the customer's profile. The other is ADL, or Activities of Daily Living, which requires a monthly subscription. I'll install both now. After installing EMR and ADL, reload the page. Let's go back to Patients and search for the customer we worked with before, Patient 1. You'll see two new tabs appear, EMR and ADL. Let's start with EMR, which stands for Electronic Medical Records. This is where a hospital stores a customer's medical history. Pathology and lab results, such as blood, ECG, and urine reports are kept here, along with imaging like X-rays. You can also record the customer's vitals, and any prescriptions you provide are stored here as well. Later, you can review all of this for a case study, or simply to understand the customer better. It's all kept as part of the customer's electronic medical record under your organization. Now, let's move to ADL, Activities of Daily Living. Here you can set up daily activities for a customer or assign them to a practitioner, doctor, or caregiver. These are the daily tasks that need to be performed either by the customer themselves or by a staff member on their behalf. Let's create one. Under ADL, first select a branch, then choose who it's assigned to. If you want customer will perform the daily tasks themselves, assign it to the customer. If a practitioner will carry them out to provide care, assign it to a practitioner. Let's assign it to a practitioner, for example, Daniel Petrov. Next, choose the type of ADL. There are several to choose from, and you can also add your own. Let's select personal care and name the activity, for example, Provide Care. Then set the date range during which this activity applies and choose the days it should be performed. Let's set it to every day. You can also set the time. If it happens more than once a day, you can add multiple times. I'll set a morning slot from 8 to 9 a.m. and a night slot from 8 to 9 p.m. so the practitioner performs it twice a day. You can also add specific tasks under this activity. Click Task List and choose the type, a checklist or yes or no questions. Let's use both. For the checklist, I'll name it To Do and add 2 items, Take care of health and medicine. For the yes or no question, I'll ask, Did he eat already? You can also require an attachment, so the practitioner adds a photo or proof once the task is done. Make it required if you want, or leave it optional so they can submit without one. You can also require a signature from the customer. Then create the ADL. You'll see it's now created for every day. When a practitioner works on this, they can do it right from their mobile phone. Once the ADL is created, they're notified on their device and see the same interface. When they begin, they simply open it and fill in the information, answering yes or no, attaching a file, and drawing a signature. Let's draw the signature and save, which marks the task as complete. They can do the same for both the morning and night slots, and once both are signed off, the ADL is checked as done. Finally, there's the blacklist. If a practitioner shouldn't work with a particular patient or there's a conflict between them, you can simply blacklist the practitioner for that customer. That's how the blacklist works. This is how you manage your customers, store and access their information, and provide services to them from start to finish. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial.